If it's your first time working on a Switch OLED, here's a good way to make sure that your max chips are not shorting out. I had a pretty easy fix on my Switch, but because I thought that there was a short on my max chip, I kept messing around and actually ended up creating a real short somewhere on my board, and now I can't figure out where that short is. But I got a perfectly good working switch board right here. I just tested the switch out before I removed the board, and I've watched a ton of videos on YouTube trying to figure out if my max chips are shorting out because I'm getting an extremely low reading. But it turns out that those low readings are normal because those go to the CPU, and those are very low continuity capacitors. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I got my multimeter in diode mode, and I am going to be testing this capacitor right next to the max chip on the front side of the board. And I'm going to be testing this capacitor and this capacitor. I'm pretty sure all these other capacitors will not make a beeping noise, making you think that there's a short, but this beeps, this one beeps, and this one beeps for sure, and it's extremely low ratings, like 0.017 or some crap like that. And if you're new to the game, you don't really know what's going on, you're gonna think that you have a short there, but you really don't have a short. Now, I do apologize for the camera angle. I'm doing this on my phone. I don't have a professional setup, so I'm going to do my best to show you the readings. So the first one I'm going to do is this one right here. You won't be able to see me actually testing it, but I'm gonna have my black probe on the tester here on the capacitor, and I'm going to have my red probe on the ground just like normal, and what you're going to see is the reading. I'll try to get my camera set up in a way where you can see what it's reading. Alright, here we go. So that first chip that I showed you, this is the reading. So that's the side that's closest to the max chip. Okay, it's not what I was expecting though. Come on now, I gotta get my steady hands going and drink a ton of coffee. Okay, so it's that one right there. So there's a max chip. We're testing this one. The side that's closest to the max chip ohms out. The one on the far side measures 0.1. Next, we are going to be looking at this one right here. So this is the side closest to the max chip, and then this is the other side. So let's take a look at that. Closest to the max chip, and then the far side. You see it's measuring 0.014. That definitely looks like a short, but this is a perfectly good working board. This capacitor on the front side next to the max chip is supposed to measure that low on this side. This is the ground side. This is the hot side, and it measures 0.014. That's normal. Next, we're going to be testing this capacitor right above it. This is the near side, that's the far side. I'll show you the reading on that one. It's pretty much the same, I believe. So here's the near side and the far side. 0.015. If it says 0.014, it's probably in spec. As long as it's not reading something like 0.00 something, then it's probably good. Alright, so that's the front side. If you're getting those readings, you don't really know what's going on, this is like your first time, you're new to the game, then just know that those are normal readings. Let me figure out which one of these also has low readings. I think it's this one. No, not that one. Okay, so on the back side of your max chip, this big one, this one in the middle, and this big one all have low resistance. Okay, first we're going to be checking this one. This is the near side, this is the far side. Right there's the max chip. So we're going to be testing this one. I'm going to show you the values. Again, keep in mind this is a perfectly good working board. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It charges, it turns on, nothing is wrong with it. I just tested it in the console before I removed it. So this is a perfectly good board. These are the readings you're supposed to get in diode mode, okay? Just because it's beeping and you got a super low reading does not mean it's bad. That just means these chips or these capacitors more than likely go from the max chip and feed to the CPU, which has extremely low voltage. Get you set back up here. Okay, so we are testing the near side of that first big one I showed you. So we're looking at 0.089. Here's the far side. 0.089 on both sides there. Okay, next we're looking at this one. So this is the near side to the max chip, that's the far side. I'll show you the reading on that one. Okay, the near side, 0.014, the far side, 0.014 on both sides. So that does definitely look and sound like a short, but this is not shorted out. 0.014 on both sides. Next we're going to be doing this one in the middle. We got the near side, we got the far side. Okay, we got straight 0 on that. That's the near side. Now let's do the far side. 0.014. Okay, now we're doing the big chip at the end. Capacitor, not a chip, whatever. Okay, here's the near side. 0.014. The far side. 0.014. Okay, so as long as you're not getting those types of readings pretty much anywhere else on the board as far as I know, then you should be good. But at least around the max chips, those capacitors that I showed you, those are the proper readings. So do not start removing things like your max chip and stuff like that thinking you have a short, because you do not have a short there. If you're well versed in this sort of thing, then you already know that. But for me, I did not know that. I couldn't find a good video on YouTube explaining if I had a short on my max chip. I thought I did, and turns out the only problem I had was my USB-C port was shorting out, and I had a bad diode next to my 2R2 coil. I removed the USB-C port and I removed that diode, and all my shorts went away. But because I didn't know that those capacitors around the two max chips are supposed to read that low, I thought I still had a short, and I started just taking all kinds of things apart, and now I got a short somewhere, which I don't know where, because I am getting a short on my 2R2 coil now, which I wasn't after I removed that diode, and I am getting a short on the board next to the 2R2 coil at that diode I removed. So somehow I got a short there. I don't know if it's because of flux continuity or if I somehow messed something up. I'm not sure, because right now I do not have a bench voltage injector to check it. But I just got this good working switch, and I wanted to test to see if that was a good reading or not, and turns out they are. So keep that in mind when you're trying to work on your Switch OLED model. It's probably the same on other Switch models previous to it. I'm not sure about the Switch 2, but this is an OLED model. So if you're trying to do something, you're trying to fix it, and you get to around your max chips, do not think that you have a short there if those are the readings you're getting. I hope this has helped you, and please like and subscribe. I will be making more videos, and have a blessed day.